Hello, hello, hello. Today is Thursday, and this is Talk About It Thursday. And as always, because I just have some of the most awesome and wonderful people within my network. And today is another one of those great people that I just want everyone to meet, everyone to get to know. It is my dear, my beloved Hadi Diallo, owner, founder of HD Impact Consulting. How are you today, dear?
Hi, Sharika. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great and so happy to be here with you today.
Thank you. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with me just a little bit and tell me and us a little bit more about what you do. So please enlighten us. What does HD Impact Consulting do for us?
Okay, I should have actually put it as HD Impact Leadership because it is a leadership coaching and development firm where I really focus on growing impactful leaders. It's all about leaders that can affect positive change, that can lead themselves, that can inspire their team and really drive result, but also while creating positive, engaging, and healthy work environment. So in a sense, that's what I do. It's all about growing leaders that can really make a difference.
I love it. I love it. And so, well, one question, well, I guess I'm lying because it's going to be two questions. So,
There you
the
go.
one
There you go. First
question
one. Shoot it.
before our big question, how do I know if I am that leader for you?
That's a good question. So you are the leader that I love to work with are really focused on result, right? They are people focused, result focused. They really want to make a change, right? It's all about making change for themselves, their organization, but also the community, right? So that's why I like to say I develop impactful leaders because it's really you have that drive in you, right? You want to make that change, but you just need a little bit of help, right? You need a bit of tools, strategies. You need, someone to be accountable. You need that help, right, to really make sure that you can rise to your full potential. So that kind of leader, if you will.
Nice. Awesome. All right. And then the big question of the day. What is one thing that you know that we need to know? And you're already touching on so many things, but what is that one thing that you know that we need to know?
Okay, so the one thing I love to talk about, right, is, and I've been talking about being an impactful leader, right? So in order to be an impactful leader and really lead for peak performance, high performance, you need to lead in three different areas, right? You need to lead yourself, you need to lead and inspire others, and you need to lead your organization, right? So those are the three because I found most people might focus on one or two, but really it's really the full package, right? And now I know the question will be like, but what do you mean by leading myself, leading others, and leading the organization, right? So the first one, leading yourself, it's really about knowing, having that high degree of self-awareness, right? Striving to be better, striving for excellence, right? So you're not just sitting and having the status quo, you're always learning, right? New strategies, knowing what's going on. And the second piece, a part of that is really about, managing your time effectively, right? Managing high work demand and stress, right? And the last piece is really about making sure that you take the time to take care of yourself, right? Because if you're not well, there's no way you can lead anyone, right? So
Right.
that's pretty much on the leading yourself. And I think, or even for leading yourself, I like to spend some time on it because, as I mentioned, there are different pieces, right? So learning, we know about that. The self-awareness is really about making sure that you know your strength, your weakness. That's the easy part, right? But asking for feedback, right? Not being shy to go and ask people for feedback on your leadership, for example, right? How are you doing? How can you be better? How can you improve, right? And the other is really taking time for self-reflection, right? Because how are you going to improve if you don't take the time to really, reflect on your action, on your behaviors, right? And what can you do, right? So that's one piece over there. But the biggest piece, I think, which a lot of leaders, and I'll say even women leaders struggle is really that time management, priority management, right? And I'll say
Mm-hmm.
the starting point for that, it's really knowing your goals, right? Your strategic priorities, like being crystal clear on that, because that will help you really know, okay, with everything that's going on, where am I going to spend my time, right? Effectively and efficiently, right? So I
Yes.
think knowing that really it's very important. And some people are like, I don't even know. I have so much going on, right? So I'll say the first thing is really track your time. It's that simple, right? But people don't like to do that, right? It's like it's a simple table, put the time increment of 15 minutes, 30 minutes, put the activity, right? And just doing that without overthinking it, without judgment. You're just collecting data, and once you have the data, right, so you know your goals, your priority, what's going to make you successful, right, as a leader. At the same time, now you look at your time and be honest, am I really spending my time, right, to what I said is very important, right? If not,
Mhm.
then once you have that data, really look at it and make sure that you identify activities that you can delegate, right? It's okay to delegate, right? Please do delegate as much as you can. There are activities that you can postpone. You don't have to do them right now, right? Or the
Right.
other thing is really eliminate. That's my favorite one. Can you find stuff that you're doing that you should not be doing as a leader at all, right? So that you, or even anyone in your team, should be doing, right? We all have those
Yeah.
activities that we've been doing just because it's been done for 15 years and no one looked at it, right? So by when you take the time to really assess where you're spending your time, then you'll be able to control that a little bit more. So that's
I
the
can
first piece.
I can appreciate that because even with in managing, that's honestly these are like life lessons, like managing your time and understanding where you're spending your time. And a saying, and I'm going to throw the saying all the way off. I know I'm going to screw it up, but it's something to the effect of, show me how you spend your time, and I'll show you like where your treasure is, or something like that. Because that where you spend your time, and honestly even your money, that's a whole nother topic, but that shows what you value. So I think those are some great tips for leading yourself. And then I know there are also the areas you mentioned of leading others, as well as leading your organization. And I would say maybe what's, I guess, one good example of each of those.
Yeah. So I think the leading others, right? It's all about how do you engage, motivate, empower, and really inspire that high performance in your team, right? The people around you, right? And I think here two things. It's the first thing, you have to get to know your people. You have to get to know your team, right? So that's so basic, but so many people don't take the time, right, to know them personally. Like, what are their career aspiration, personal aspiration? What are their strengths? Where do they need help, right? What drives them, right? So really taking the time to know your people and your one-on-one, making sure that you set time aside to really discuss their career drive and aspiration, right? And where they need help, just asking, where do you need help? Where can I help you, right? And the second piece for leading others, it's really around making sure that you care and support for your team, showing care and support, right? I remember once someone asked me, what is it to be a leader? It's like, it's caring. And person looked at me, what do you mean, right? So it's really making sure that you go the extra mile, right, to make sure that your team
Mhm.
has the resources and the support they need to do their job well, right? And you will only be able to know that if you spend time with them, right? If you're close to your team, if you interact with them on a, like, if you interact with them often, right, not once in a blue moon, right? And really asking and creating that safe space where they feel comfortable sharing with you what's on their mind, what's going on, right? So it's all about, in order to build that trust, you need to honor your commitment and keep your promises. So that's really effectively, right? Do you have that continuous process improvement, right? Do you have processes that are efficient, that are working well, right? What I like to ask people is, if one of your key member were to leave suddenly, do you have people that can jump in and do their critical work, right? When people come in for when you have new team members that join, do they have everything that they need, right? You have documentation for your key processes, for example, right? Do you have a succession plan? Are you sure that you have your right people in the right roles, right? That match with their skills and their talent and, what they really want to do, right? So it's really, that's where I like, the leading your organization. And the last piece I will say around that is, we all have, I'm pretty sure, Sharika, especially being from the accounting, field, just like me, where you get so busy, right? You have those issues or challenges that keep coming up, right? But it's a band-aid
Mhm.
solution. Okay, we'll fix that next month. We'll just do a band-aid, right? So really, that's not sustainable, right? And
Right.
it's taking the time to do a proper root cause analysis. Whenever there's a challenge that keeps coming more than twice, you have to stop and schedule some time, right? And do that root cause analysis. Involve key people within your teams, right? That are aware of it, that are impacted, right? And have those different, ideas, perspective, insight come together and really ask, why do we have this, right? Drill down to figure out what it is, so you can find a solution that can really work and you can fix that problem once and for all, as opposed to having to go back to it over and over again.
So these are all some really, really great points. And I think they really stick close to home for many of us. And just to recap a little from each, and max in being the best leader of yourself, maximizing your time and understanding how and where you're spending your time, and being a leader of others, showing a true investment in others, or making the investment in others and showing that you care. And I can say, firsthand, if you do that, you will get that reciprocated from those same people. They will want to do the best work for you. They will want you to succeed just like they know you want them to succeed. And then in the last one, with the organization and leading the organization, and a really big thing that you mentioned, single points of failure, having that only one person who can do the one thing.
Mhm.
And if that one person decided they were not going to come back again tomorrow, what are you going to do? So I love how you touch on each of these topics. I really think you have a mission, I would say, that's very well needed. And honestly, I think it's just great for a person, even if you don't see yourself as being in management today. I think these are still some really helpful tools and things to learn, so you know how to become an effective leader when that time does come, or even if it's just, leading your own life, because a lot of these tools and tips and tricks can be used professionally as well as personally. So,
Yeah,
please,
and just to add to that, right? You don't need to
yes.
be a leader, because leadership, it's really a way of being, right? It's not a title. So anyone can be a leader, right? You can lead yourself, right? Maybe not others, but how can you influence others, right? And engage others and inspire others, right? And in terms of, the organization, you can take it upon yourself to be the one who drives these changes, right? And make sure that you do all that. So that's a very good point, because it's not only for leaders. You can be your own leader. You can create your own opportunities, right? That will, put you on the path to be that leader as a title.
Yes, yes. So you heard it here. It's not about the title. So don't get caught up in your title that you want, that you have, or that you think you cannot get. It's about the person. So definitely reach out to Hadi so she can work with you, the person, and your leadership transformation, so to speak. Again, that's HD Impact Leadership Consulting. And I will make sure to have the website linked. There is a leadership assessment on the website. So please go to the website, take the leadership assessment, reach out to Hadi if you have any questions or interested in working with her on your own personal transformation, or if you're already in that role but you just want to become better, then reach out and she can help you get to wherever it is you're trying to go. Any events or any last words, comments, questions, emotional speeches you have for us out here?
No, I think I share a lot. So I'll be having, so I one of my personal mission is really to increase diversity in leadership. So I'm running one leadership development program with a amazing group of BIPOC women. So I'll be having another one coming up probably in May, just because it's great. It's needed. Having that access and affordability into getting those leadership skills. So once that's done, I'm still trying to figure out the detail for the day, but I'm going to open it up to the public. So if you're interested in that, send me a note, connect on LinkedIn, let me know your interest, and I'll put you on the wait list for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your expert opinion and leadership, my fellow accounting and finance sister. But again, thank you so much for spending time with me today, sharing all of your knowledge or some of your knowledge with my connections and my side of the world. And I just wish you the best in everything.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharika. Wish you the best as well. Always nice chatting with you.
Yes, absolutely. All righty.